Hi guys, and welcome to another video from Sports Trading Live TV. And in this video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at when is the best time to use lay the draw, the classic football trading strategy, a strategy you should definitely have in your football trading portfolio to use from time to time, that is for sure. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you what is my favorite time of the match to use the lay the draw strategy. And this is the only time I would even consider using this strategy. I'm going to go over some positives and negatives. I'm going to be showing you 3 typical newbie mistakes to avoid when you're using lay the draw. And then I'm going to give you 4 lay the draw pro tips that you can start using tonight if you wished, or on the next football match that is in play on the Betfair exchange. But before we begin, I just want to remind you to hit the subscribe button below so you're the first to know when future videos just like this are uploaded. The more subscribers we have, the more videos there will be. So it's very, very important. All right, let's get going. This is not going to be a debate about whether lay the draw still works. You know, this is the type of question that, to be honest, I roll my eyes at whenever someone asks me. You know, I get this email a lot. Does lay the draw still work? And probably the real question they're actually asking is lay the draw easy? You know, can I just do this and make money on every single football match? You know, is it that simple? Of course not. Of course not. It is not easy. Anything that makes money never is easy. So to answer the question, does lay the draw still work? Of course, it does still work. The principle behind it does still work. But if you do want to make money in the long term, it's only really going to work for you if you pick the right times to use it. I'm going to show you now when is the right time. When is the right time? As you see, I've put that in commas there as well, because there never is a perfect time to lay the draw. But I have had most of my success laying the draw in the second half. I would only now ever consider laying the draw in the second half of a football match. I'm not even interested in using this strategy in the first half of matches. I just stick to the second half. I mean, and there's many reasons for this. There are many reasons for this. Firstly, the lay price on the draw in the second half is much lower, of course, because you're getting nearer to the end of the match, and the odds naturally just go lower as you get closer to closer to the end of the match. So you're getting a much lower lay price on the draw. Sometimes you're getting half the price or less. You know, you're getting what I would call a discount. You're getting a very big discount as opposed to going in right at the start of the match. And then on the flip side, after the goal goes in, the back price on the draw goes even higher than if the goal went in say the first minute or the first half. So you're not just getting in at a massively discounted price, but then you're getting a much better sell price, which is the back price, you know, so we can cash out with. But obviously the later in the game, the higher that back price is going to go, because the less likely that the match is going to end in a draw. So already there's a huge big positive that you can see. The lay price is lower and then the back price is higher, so you can lock in a potentially much bigger profit. There is another positive as well for laying the draw in the second half, and I would always say this is good because it actually does not really matter who scores the goal. So you're just looking for a goal to be able to exit out of the trade. Now, if you've ever laid the draw in the first half of a match, you know that there can be a big problem if the underdog scores the goal. So it's quite frustrating, because really what you're looking for is you're looking to lay the draw, but you're also looking for the favorite to have to score the first goal. That's if you're laying the draw in the first half, which you may as well just back the favorite in those scenarios, really. So the positive about getting involved in the second half is that it actually doesn't matter who scores the goal, because if the favorite does score, then of course that's the ideal scenario. You're going to lock in a you know, your best possible profit at that point. But if the underdog does score the goal, then you've still got the chance to get out and even make a profit in a lot of situations. Very rare that you lay the draw in the second half, the underdog scores, and you're in a losing position. So you can get out with a positive no matter who scores. Of course, we still want the favorite to score, but it's nice to know that the underdog can score, and we're still going to get out without without taking a loss. Also, another big positive about getting involved in the second half definitely is there is much more urgency to score a goal. Now, whenever I'm trading football and I'm entering with a strategy, I want those players on the pitch to be trying to achieve what I'm trying to achieve, if you get what I'm saying. So if I'm getting involved looking for a goal, then I want those players on the pitch to be really going hard to get that goal. And you're probably not going to get the same urgency getting involved in the first half as you would in the second half, because a lot of players know that, hey, if we go in at half time and it's a draw, it's not the end of the world. We still have the second half to get the goals we need to win the match. So there is no urgency for anyone to really have to score in the first half. However, in the second half, the urgency picks it up a notch as time is running out and the favourite is going to need to get that goal to try and break the deadlock. And the more urgency there is, the more players they commit forward, and then also you can then get that favourite getting caught on the break, and maybe the underdog. It's a smash and grab, and he grabs a goal, or they grab a goal rather. And these are the great situations that we look for in order to try and get the goal, is urgency. As you can see, there are a lot of positives, a lot of pros about why you would lay the draw in the second half. But of course, I'm going to show you the negatives against that, as opposed to laying the draw in the first half, is that by laying the draw in the second half, there are going to be less opportunities, because there are going to be some matches which are just not drawn in the second half. They're not drawing at half time. They don't go level at any point in the second half. It's as simple as that. However, I wouldn't say that as too much of a negative, because you just have to be more patient. You just have to be more patient. There could be some matches that you select and you think, hey, yeah, I want to use the lay the draw strategy on this match. However, in the first half, the favourite goes 1, 2, 3 goals up, and you feel like you've missed out on a money-making opportunity. However, just have to feel like, well, do you know, I didn't get involved, but there's going to be a great opportunity where a favourite is drawing in the second half, and I can get involved with the strategy, and I can get a winning trade. So I don't really see that as too much as a negative. And to be honest, that is it. There isn't really too much argument for laying the draw in the first half over laying the draw in the second half. If you had to ask most experienced football traders, they would all tell you the same thing. Lay the draw in the second half as opposed to the first half. So here are a few just typical newbie mistakes that I see happen very often when it comes to lay the draw. If you've been trying to use the lay the draw strategy and you're like, well, it's just not been working. The problem is probably not with the strategy, but it could be with you. You could be, firstly, overusing the strategy. This is something I see a lot. For some reason, I see a lot of newbie traders, they get hold of the lay the draw strategy. It's one of the first football trading methods that most learn. And for some reason, they feel like they can just do this on every single match that is in play. And they will literally start to do that. Lay the draw here, lay the draw there. And it doesn't matter whether you get involved in the first half or the second half. If you just do this blindly and just overuse it, then yeah, you're not going to have a good time at all. This isn't a strategy to overuse. You need to definitely pick your opportunities when you're working with this method, that is for sure. And of course, if you are going to use a strategy, you need to do your pre-game analysis. You need to do a little bit of research on at least the favourite's recent form, and things like that. Have a good idea about where the game is potentially going to go. And at the same time, you have to also do your in-game analysis. I mean, don't just rely on the stats and feel like just because the pre-game stats suggests that there has to be a goal, that means there is going to be a goal, because there could be something completely different happening in-game. You have to analyze what is happening in-game. Maybe that favourite is happy with a draw. You can only really tell that by watching, say, the body language on the pitch and the urgency of either team to try and score the goal. You know, if you're seeing a lot of urgency, both teams trying to score a goal, then that's great. But if you're not seeing that and it's kind of a slow, scrappy game, then yeah, it's not a great game to use the strategy on, that is for sure. And another big mistake I would say I've noticed quite a lot is a lot of newbie traders, they become very fixated on using the lay the draw method. And the way you need to approach this strategy is it needs to be one of many. That you can't just profit from football trading with just this strategy. It needs to be one of your methods that is just in your portfolio, in your arsenal, ready to be used when you spot a good opportunity to use it. That is as simple as it is. Don't try and just use this method on its own. You need to obviously have other strategies to go with it. So before we go, I'm just going to give you a few pro tips that I think could probably improve your lay the draw football trading immediately. Now, I've already given you one big tip at the start of the video. I did say get involved in the second half, and I just want to stress that this is not necessarily at the start of the second half. This can be at any point in the second half, as long as you're getting involved in the second half as opposed to the first half. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the 46 minute. It could be the 56, the 66, or even the 86 minute, just as long as you see something which is telling you to get involved with the strategy. Now, something I would say when you're laying the draw in the second half, I would recommend stay in till the final whistle. Now, a lot of people don't like this. They like to have some sort of exit point. And I used to have this as well. When I used to do lay the draw trading in the second half, I used to have an exit point, which was maybe around the 85th minute. And it just caused me so much frustration because there was so many late goals in injury time, and I'd already traded out for a loss, and then I just sat there feeling not very clever. And then when I actually analyzed my results and realized if I stayed in till the final whistle, my profits actually went up. So I realized, hey, do you know what? You're better off, if you're going to lay the draw in the second half, just lay the draw and let it be till the final whistle, which is what leads me on to the next tip. Commit to the trade. Don't overthink laying the draw if you're laying the draw in the second half. Don't overthink it. Look for, well, I'm assuming you've done your pre-game analysis and you've done your in-game analysis. So you spotted something in play which is telling you to get involved with this strategy. So once you've entered it, just let it be. Let it be till either the goal arrives and you trade out, or you stay until the final whistle. So naturally, only risk what you're willing to lose on this trade as you're getting involved. Another pro tip as well, I would say, is the later you get involved, the better. So as I did mention earlier on, you don't have to get involved at the 46th minute. It doesn't have to be right dead on half time. Sometimes I like to wait for the games to really warm up, and sometimes you get some really tense matches which are pretty boring for about 70 minutes, but then suddenly both managers realize, all right, it's time to go and nick a goal. So sometimes I enter in the 70th minute, sometimes the 80th minute with this strategy, and then I just stay in till the final whistle, or until the goal arrives. And the beauty of this is that the later you get involved, the better, because at the end of the day, you're getting in at a lower price. So the later you get in, the lower the price is, the bigger the discount you get. But then, of course, when the goal arrives, the higher the back price gets. So you're going to be locking in a much bigger profit. And I'd also say, finally, if you do miss a goal, don't cry. Don't cry about it. This is something that inexperienced football traders get frustrated about. They have a match lined up that they want to use the strategy on. So they wait. But then, hey, a goal goes in and you're like, oh, see, if I would have got involved, I could have made my money now already. How annoying is that? It is annoying, and it happens to me quite often. And you just gotta brush it off and put it out of your mind and just look to the next match. It's as simple as that. So that is just about it. And remember, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more sports trading videos just like this, then be sure to hit the subscribe button below. Also, check the links in the description of this video. In there, you will find a way to get yourself a free mystery gift that will assist you with your sports trading. This is only for YouTube subscribers, so scroll down and have a look. In the next video, I'm going to be showing you the best matches to lay the draw on. So I showed you what I feel is the best entry point, the best time of the match to lay the draw. I'm going to be showing you the best matches to use the strategy on, because that really is the key to success. and I'm going to be showing you what I look for pre-game and in-game. So head over to the next video.